President Bola Tinubu signs executive order to introduce zero tariffs, excise duties and value-added tax on imported pharmaceutical inputs. Federal government seeks collaboration with Turkey in water treatment and sanitation. Cholera outbreak, Ondo State allocates emergency preparedness fund. Hello and welcome to the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. Thanks for joining us. I am Nancy Godi Angonihu. President Tinubu has signed executive order to introduce zero tariffs, excise duties and value-added tax, VAT, on imported pharmaceutical inputs. The order introduces zero tariffs on specified machinery, equipment and raw materials, aiming to reduce production costs and enhance local manufacturers' competitiveness. Specified items include essential raw materials required for manufacturing of crucial health products like drugs, syringes and needles, long-lasting insecticidal nets, and rapid diagnostic kits. The order also provides for establishing market-shaping mechanisms such as framework contracts and volume guarantees to encourage local manufacturers. According to the Minister of Health, Ali Pate, the order mandates collaboration among the Ministers of Health, Finance, as well as Industry, Trade and Investment to develop a harmonized implementation framework, expediting regulatory approvals and reducing bottlenecks. Pate said agencies including the Nigeria Customs Service, NAFDAC, Standards Organization of Nigeria and Federal Inland Revenue Service will ensure implementation with special waivers and exemptions effective for 2 years. The International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, and the federal government have commenced a joint supervision mission of the Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprises project in the Niger Delta area. Musa Baba Aliyu reports that the United Nations agency seeks the inclusion of Imo and Akwa Ibom states in the project.
The Family Enterprises project in the Niger Delta, codenamed Life ND, is jointly funded by the Federal Government of Nigeria, IFAD, and the Niger Delta Development Commission. The 10-year initiative seeks to enhance agricultural activities and job creation for rural youth and women. During the fourth supervision mission meeting in Abuja, the IFAD country director stated that the organization looks forward to upscaling the achievements recorded so far.
This mission is happening at a critical juncture as IFAD is working on the request made by the federal government for additional finance for the Life ND second phase in the 6 states covered by IFAD and the federal government of Nigeria.
Memos and letters have been forwarded to the Federal Minister of Finance for onward delivery to IFAD on the reallocation of the unallocated 6 million USD funds in the cost table of the Life ND project.
I am pleased to inform you that the Ministry of Finance is working closely with IFAD to secure approval for additional financing.
It was observed that for the past years, there was a significant impact on the production of rice, cassava, plantain, oil palm, cocoa, poultry and fishery in the participating states.
Life ND for the past 5 years has contributed significantly to meeting the program development objectives in ensuring food security, creating jobs, and also reasonable income from the rural youth and women in the Niger Delta region, using sustainable agricultural development as a modality for achieving.
The beneficiaries have reached 26,700 smallholder farmers, exceeding the target of 25,000. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
As part of efforts to improve Nigeria's water sector, the federal government is seeking collaboration with Turkey in the area of water treatment and sanitation. Usman Zubairu reports that this comes to light as Minister of State for Water Resources Bello Mohammed Goronio paid a highly productive visit to Istanbul.
The minister's visit in Istanbul focused on exploring collaborative opportunities and strengthening partnership with Turkish.
We decided to come to Istanbul to interact with this very wonderful company and engage them towards providing a lasting solution to our water problems in Nigeria.
The Nigerian delegation toured the state-of-art facility at Duke University, which provide a comprehensive understanding of technological advancements. Discussions centered on possible use of these technologies to enhance Nigerians' water treatment infrastructure in line with the President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. The delegation had a robust interaction with GI Aquatech Company, among others.
To look at the various interests of our community and see how we can possibly adopt this solution to work in our community and in our environment.
The engagement is expected to serve as a pivotal step towards fostering international cooperation and advancing Nigerians' water treatment and sanitation capabilities through strategic partnership and technology innovation. Usman Zubairu, NTA News.
The need for Africa to return to moral, ethical and purposeful model of leadership to enable the continent to overcome its contemporary leadership challenges is being re-echoed. This time it was at a public presentation of 3 books written by Nigeria's former ambassador to Mexico and Canada, Professor Iwueshe Hager in Abuja. Chukunonso Mwabweze was there.
The 3 books, Leadership, Leading Africa Out of Chaos, Beyond Ethnic Grievances, the Jukun Thief Crisis, as well as the English language and its discontents with other essays, not only draw attention to the oppressive nature of the English language and the need to change the narrative, also proffer practical solutions to leadership issues in Africa.
The title, bold and unflinching, immediately sets the stage for a narrative that finds a dwelling at the crux of the continent's most tumultuous of landscapes, leadership in political governance.
The Jukun Thief conflict is mirrored as just one instance out of the number of violent conflicts in the catalogue of ethno-religious unrest plaguing communities and nationalities across Nigeria.
The most interesting aspect of this book, which forms its title, I believe, is a continuation of the debate of the use of the English language as a lingua franca in Nigeria and indeed some African nations.
The author is hopeful that the books kickstart meaningful conversations, inspire positive change, and contribute to a deeper understanding of the complex situations and opportunities facing Nigeria and Africa.
We need to all collectively come together and find a solution to build a strong nation where we are not subjects but we are all citizens. A strong nation where our democracy means that the citizen is the king.
Why Professor Hai is trying to redirect us, we, especially we who are participants, and we who call ourselves leaders, do we have the capacity or the comprehension to know what leadership is all about?
It's a time for Africa, since we all know it's the next world. We must sit down with ourselves. The leaders must be purposeful in their style of leadership.
With many scholarly works to his credit, this set of publications by Professor Iwueshe Haye coincide with the commemoration of his 75th birthday anniversary. Chukunonso Mwabweze, NTA News.
The Managing Director of the Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, Mohammed Goni Al-Khali, has expressed commitment to completing and commissioning all ongoing projects being carried out by the Commission in Adamawa State before the end of the year. He stated this while inspecting both the completed and ongoing projects across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. Yusuf Jika reports.
The Managing Director, Northeast Development Commission, Mohammed Goni Alkali, accompanied by the management of the Commission, visited Adamawa State to assess the level and quality of the ongoing and completed projects. The Commission expressed satisfaction with the work done so far on the 500 mass housing projects in Yola South, as well as the Accident and Emergency Unit at the Modibo Adamawa University Teaching Hospital. They also inspected the mega schools under construction at each of the 3 senatorial districts of Adamawa State, sited at Song, Mobi, and Guyuk local government areas of the state respectively. At the 2.5-kilometer access road in College of Education Hong and 40 housing units for the staff, which Mohammed Goni Alkali said the projects are meant to provide a conducive learning environment in the institution. Other projects inspected by the management of the NEDC are 32-kilometer Garkida Dabna Road project, water projects across the state, construction of bridges at Kudzum, Mayongayandi and Dilchim, as well as a collapsed bridge along Madagali Waga Road, which is linking Adamawa and Borno states, and promised necessary intervention.
Generally speaking, I think most of our projects across states are doing well. You have seen them. And we want to make sure that those that have some certain challenges, we look at those challenges and make sure that we provide a circle of a solution to those problems so that those roads will be completed as soon as possible.
The Managing Director of NEDC assured that the Commission will continue to add value on the lives of the people in the Northeast through impactful projects. Some of the benefiting communities lauded the Commission's developmental projects by restoring livelihood, especially at areas affected by insurgency in the Northeast. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Asiwaji Youth Ambassadors of Nigeria says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has demonstrated unwavering determination to safeguarding lives and property of citizens, applauding the present administration's 1 year of worthy achievements in office. The youth ambassadors believe that President Tinubu has ingenuously instilled renewed hope and progress in the nation.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu has demonstrated unwavering determination to safeguard lives and properties. Amongst his notable achievements is the liberation of 4,600 hostages, neutralization of 9,300 hostile elements, and the apprehension of over 7,000 terrorists, bandits, and criminals. The recovery of more than 4,800 weapons and 93,900 rounds of ammunition underscores the administration's commitment to restoring peace and security.
Actionable strategies are needed ingredients to enhance President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and provide research and data-driven economic innovations model. A group known as Good Governance and Nation-Building Advocates converged on Abuja to further enlighten Nigerians as a whole on development strategies for national growth. This, they explained, is part of efforts towards assisting the present administration to succeed in its all-round development programs. The economic tide of initiative of President Tinubu, they emphasized, should be supported by all.
All-round stability is a systematic integration into the prevailing self-existing governance measures of the shadow government. For instance, the Nigerian government needs to understand the nature, basics, principles, and all-encompassing policies of this prevailing, evolving, and significantly awesome government in order to align ourselves integrally into its demand.
This is the latest evening news at 11 on NTA NEWS24. More reports after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed says the Corps is planning to review the Special Marshal operations nationwide to enhance traffic management across the country. He said this at the Special Marshal National Retreat in Abuja with the theme promoting safe transportation through public awareness and enforcement strategies. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports.
This is an in-house meeting of top leadership of the Federal Road Safety Corps Special Marshal to rub minds on strengthening better road safety on the highways. Issues of concern highlighted as major challenge of operation on the roads include poor enforcement of road safety laws, which they believe should even be reviewed for better road safety management in the country.
Important for the road safety to engage with the FCT administration, particularly the Development Control Office, to ensure that when building approvals are given, areas that ought not to be converted to commercial buildings should be avoided.
There are low awareness on the danger of dangerous driving on the road. We also know that on the roads in Nigeria, we have poor vehicular integrities.
Compliance and enforcement are critical elements of road safety. We appeal to the Honorable Minister to step up the enforcement of the Federal Road Safety Commission Act 2007, which I must say is overdue for review.
While we look at the issues bothering us, let's remember that one very crucial instrument in achieving our set goal as a corps is to sustain the current level of education and to improve the level at which we are.
Special Marshal, though a voluntary service, yet an important integral part of the Federal Road Safety Corps, especially in the areas of patrol operations, traffic control, public enlightenment, as well as sponsorship of public enlightenment programs of the Corps, and they serve as image makers for the Corps through advocacy. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The recently launched Save Our Families campaign, a renewed initiative of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, is targeted at strengthening advocacy on early detection of drug use, as parents and caregivers can now easily access the drug test kits available nationwide and support Nigeria's fight at ending drug abuse and illicit trafficking. This was contained in the chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Buba Morwa's message to our National Youth Conference organized by the Vanguard Against Drug Abuse, VGADA, in Abuja. Olusheye Adeabo reports.
In several studies, including the World Drug Report, there is a growing impact of drug abuse among youths globally, especially in Nigeria, as many young adults are now deliberately using drugs illegally. The global documents also notes that in the last 24 years, cannabis potency had increased astronomically in parts of the world, and there are 11 million cannabis users in Nigeria. This National Youth Conference, which is themed The Youths, Drugs, Mental Health and Nigeria's Future, is what the Vanguard Against Drug Abuse, VGADA, is engaging national players involved in fighting the psychoactive drug menace and re-strategize.
Addressing the challenges of substance abuse and mental health, we can unlock their full potential and ensure a prosperous and vibrant future for our nation.
Femi Babafemi, Director of Media and Advocacy at NDLEA Headquarters Abuja, tells the gathering that more concentration on drug control efforts is prevention, while the convener of VGADA speaks on calls for action at the conference.
The Save Our Families campaign is aimed at is prevention. Drive another awareness towards drug testing. So that, the agency has now provided thousands of test kits that can be used in the homes, that can be used in the offices. When you do the testing, you discover early and you provide treatment. that would also, when your kids at home now know that you have the test kits at home, that you'll be testing them from time to time, they will be restrained.
Yeah, the call for action is calling on all stakeholders, which is why here represented are SSAs to the President, SSs to the President, head of government agencies, MDAs, here to put their thought and make a declaration for their support, which of course will be followed up with necessary actions for implementation of all that will be said here today.
Other submissions at the meeting re-echo effective educational programs, especially in schools at the grassroots nationwide, on dangers of substance use. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
You're watching the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Before we go, here is a look at our major stories. President Bola Tinubu signs executive order to introduce zero tariffs, excise duties, and value-added tax on imported pharmaceutical inputs. Federal government seeks collaboration with Turkey in water treatment and sanitation. Cholera outbreak. Ondo State allocates emergency preparedness fund.
This is NTA News 24.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, in commemoration of his 61st birthday. A statement by the president's special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, describes Mr. Fashola as a highly esteemed lawyer, administrator, author, essayist, and prolific fount of public policy ideation, iteration and analysis. When President Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Fashola was his chief of staff and had served in various capacities before his election as the governor of the state in 2007. The senior advocate of Nigeria also served as a Minister of Power, Works and Housing from 2015 to 2019 and Minister of Works and Housing from 2019 to 2023. The president joins family, friends and well-wishers to celebrate one of Nigeria's most gifted minds on this special occasion. Vice President Kashim Shettima leads federal government's delegation to Kefi, Nasarawa State, to offer condolences to the Minister of State for Police Affairs, Hajia Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, on the passing of her mother, Hajia Aisha Suleiman Danladi. The Vice President specially conveyed President Tinubu's condolence message to the family over the demise of their mother.
But death is an inevitable destiny that is hanging on everyone's neck. And the duty of her life that every person that I've encountered so far has been showering on comments on her. May Allah grant her a Jannah Firdaus, and may Allah grant the family the fortitude to bear irreparable loss.
Alhaji Bala Muhammad Fari, on behalf of the family, expressed deep appreciation for the high-level visit. Late Hajia Aisha Suleiman Danladi died on Thursday, June 27, 2024, at the age of 66. And that concludes the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thank you for watching.